Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all are doing good. So let us start the session. Okay. So yesterday in my Cloud SQL, if you think that this is my Cloud SQL, my SQL instance. I have created my SQL instance in my Cloud SQL, right? Which we have seen yesterday. And today what we will try to do is that, okay, and after that we have created some database here using some workbench, right? So we can able to connect it to this database via two things, via workbench, and we can also connect it via shell, right? So we have able to connect it to the workbench to this particular instance. For that one, we have also added connections. We have properly provided the IP address and all of those things we have provided, and we are able to connect it to this instance. And we have also created some database, and we have also created some users tables. Okay, so this is what we have done yesterday. So that means we can able to connect it with the workbench, and we will be able to do the operations whatever we want. Today let us try to focus on the area also, like how I can able to connect it to the shell. Okay, first thing, so let me go here, and this is my GCP. Okay, so this is what we have done yesterday. Okay, if you try to run this SQL statement, sampledb.users, say we have the data. Okay, so I wanted to create a one more table. I have only users table. I wanted to create a one more table from the cloud shell. Okay, so for that one I am going to the Google Cloud Platform. You can create it from here, or else sir, I wanted to download the SDK. So if you guys wanted to download the SDK also, you can able to download the SDK also. So if you wanted to download the SDK, in our environment I have already mentioned how to download the SDK also. If you go to guys, if you all guys go to this Cloud SQL, you have a install SDK option. Okay, so when you click on this install SDK page, you will be able to see this thing. So click on this particular link, it will direct you to install the Cloud SDK. You can also install the SDK on your local machine. SDK is nothing but a software development kit. Okay, what is SDK, sir? SDK is nothing but a software development kit. So it will be installed on your Windows system. Okay, so from there also you can able to interact with the Google Cloud services. Okay, it's installed on your local machine. Okay, so it is not a browser based, it is a local machine, installed on local machine. Either I can connect it to the cloud shell, or I can open my cloud SDK also. I'm opening my cloud SDK. Okay, so this is how the cloud SDK looks like. Once you have opened the cloud SDK, gcloud auth login. So if you wanted to connect this particular cloud SDK to your Google account, you have to do this thing, gcloud auth login. Okay, when you mention auth login, it will ask you to this page. That means you're gonna be selecting your proper account. Okay, once you select your proper account, once you allow it, That means you see here, you are now logged in as this particular account. And if you wanted to set the project, what you have to do, sir? This is the project. This is how you have to set it. G cloud config set project. The project ID which I wanted to work is that the project ID which I wanted to work is that demo DevOps. So I'm going to select the project ID for the demo DevOps. Copy it, paste it here. Okay, so now click on enter. Updated property. Okay, so G cloud config set project thermal micron 396706. Okay, sir, if you wanted to see GS util ls, you will be able to list out all the buckets inside. Okay, from SDK also you can able to interact with the Google Cloud services. Okay, so this is one thing. And now what I am going to do is that I wanted to interact with the I wanted to connect it to my SQL database that is there in my Cloud SQL MySQL. Okay, so we have to connect it to the Cloud SQL MySQL instance from this Cloud SDK. How to do that, sir? Okay, if you wanted to do that, you can actually go there. And when you click on this one, it will directly open in the Cloud Shell. Okay, when you click on this one, it will directly open in the Cloud Shell. Or else gcloud SQL connect command also you can able to use. Okay, I want you guys to see the command only. For that one, I have opened it. Gcloud SQL connect MySQL DB. User is root. When you click on it, you're going to be asking for the. It's going to be asking for the what, sir? It's going to be asking for the password because you have a password there. What? Okay, you can click on this one. Again, the command will come. See, you can click on enter. This is from the Cloud Shell I am interacting. Okay. Something wrong? Some API is not enabled. Okay, let me enable the API, guys. It is asking for the API to be enabled. Okay, copy. Okay, some API is not enabled. I'm enabling it. I think Cloud SQL admin, I believe. Yes, Cloud SQL admin API. Okay, once you enable it, you can able to interact with it. Okay, once it is enabled, you can actually now go and enter the same command. Okay, let us wait for some time. Just now we have enabled it, right? Now it is, see here, now it is allowing your IP address to incoming connection. So let us wait for 1 more minute. It's going to be asking your password to connect it to this particular MySQL DB. The command is very simple, sir. Gcloud SQL connect, and you have to mention your instance name. That's it. -- user is equal to root user. Okay, so I wanted to connect it from this one also, Cloud SDK also. What is the command, sir? Gcloud SQL connect -- user is equal to root. That's it. Okay, sorry. The instance name I have not mentioned. Gcloud SQL connect MySQL -db user is equal to root. Allowing IP incoming list. Again, here also the same thing. Here also the same thing. It is asking for password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The password is hidden. Try to enter the proper password. Okay, see here, we are inside the MySQL shell. Here also, if you go here, you're going to be asking for the password here also. Okay, sir. MySQL client not found. This is rare. Okay, let it be. And this is our cloud shell, right? Anyway, so we have able to connect it to the cloud shell. So I wanted to see the databases. How many databases are there? Can anyone tell me how many databases are there, guys? How many databases are there? Correct. And correct. Correct. So for default plus one user, nothing but a total five, and one of our database is sample DB. I wanted to use my sample DB. Okay, sir, always end your SQL statement with the semicolon. What we call it as a semicolon only, right? So always end your statement with the semicolon. What people do is that they will try to mention use sample DB. Sir, I am entering everything, but it is coming like this, like this, like this. Sorry, wait a minute. So they will say select star from the table name we have created is users, and they will keep on entering it. Sir, I mentioned everything, but it is coming like arrow marks. Always end your statement with a semicolon. Okay? We do not have a users. What was the table name? Users only, right? Okay, capital U. Okay, so select star from. I am inside the database only, right? Select star from users, semicolon. We'll be able to see the data like this here. Okay, and after that, sir, I wanted to create a table here. I wanted to create a table here. That means the table will be stored where, sir? In my Cloud SQL MySQL instance, right? So for that one also, I wanted to create one table. So for creating a table for practice, you can go and select some product table. Okay, I have here the table, create a table, products, ID, all of those things are there. I'm just tracing out here. Okay, you see here, create a table, products, ID is integer, primary key, auto increment, name varchar not null, price decimal, description text created at this particular time. Okay, click on enter. You see here, query is okay. Now, if you try to say show tables, you have two tables. Earlier, you have only one table, right? Now you have two tables. If you refresh it in your this one also, you'll be able to see. You will be able to see here. See, we have a one more table. But let me look at the data. Do I have any data? No, because I have not inserted the data. So let me try to insert some data, sample data. So for inserting some sample data, I have here the data, copying it and go here and paste it. Enter. See, query okay, 10 records inserted. If you wanted to see, select star from products. Okay, we can able to see. Here also, if I go to my workbench and if I run the same query, earlier zero records, right? Now you will be able to see the data. So this is how you can able to interact with the MySQL Cloud SQL MySQL instance from either you can able to interact from the workbench or you can able to interact from the shell also. Okay, so these are all the things you can able to interact, and we have successfully created one more table as well. Okay, but where is it? All of these things are storing, sir. Why I am mentioning here? Because I am not mentioning here. All these things are stored inside the Cloud SQL only. Google Cloud platform taking care of the storage, taking care of the management details, taking care of the access control, taking care of the admin activities, all the things Google Cloud Platform is taking care. We are not doing anything. Okay, we as a developer just to creating the tables and managing the tables. But all the admin activity, servers, all of those things are Google Cloud SQL is taking care of it. Okay, so that's the advantage that you get when you work with the managed instances. Okay, yeah. So far, so good, sir. Now, okay, now I'm gonna open, sir. What I have done is that I have one of the virtual machine is there. On top of my virtual machine, Linux virtual machine, I have installed my SQL client. Okay, I have installed MySQL. Okay, on top of the Linux virtual machine, I have installed. So think that this is my virtual machine, Linux virtual machine, Linux operating system virtual machine, and I have installed MySQL here. Okay, in this one we have some tables. I'm going to show that also. I have connected it to it. You can able to see Linux virtual machine. I'm gonna edit the connections. I'm gonna connect it to this MySQL workbench also for that thing. I'm gonna show you what we are trying today. See, I have here source DB. Inside the source DB, I have this many tables. Okay, inside my source DB, I have this many tables. Okay, so I wanted to migrate all of these things. I wanted to migrate all of these things to. I have these many things, guys. Source DB, tables, customer, employees, orders, products, sample table. All of these things I wanted to migrate it from this local or virtual machine MySQL to Cloud SQL MySQL instance. I wanted to migrate it to the Cloud SQL MySQL instance. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do, sir. I wanted to migrate all of these things from here to here and create some database called source DB and load all of those tables to this particular instance. So this is what I wanted to do it. Okay, this is what I wanted to do it. This is a business use case. Most of the companies wanted to do this kind of migration only. Okay, why they do wanted to take care of it, I already told you. Because when they are managing the entire MySQL database on top of their virtual machine, this virtual machine has to be available all the time, and they have to take care of the resources for the virtual machine, and this virtual machine has to be available over the network, and it should be connected to the multiple people. So they have to take care of this entire server, and it is costly and effort taking, and this particular database actually gets the data from an application. Some application will be there. So what will happen is that this application is running up and running all the time. This application gives the data to all of these tables. This application actually generates the data and insert the data into all of these things. So this is what happens every day. But what is the problem here? They are unable to manage this entire server because it is costly and it is time taking and it is a lot of effort they have to put it. So what trying to do? They wanted to replace this entire thing with this thing. They wanted to replace this entire thing with this thing. That means they don't wanted to have this entire this particular environment. Instead, they want this environment to be there in this particular system. Okay, so that all the tables will be available here, and all the instance will be taken care by the Google Cloud provider, and they don't need to worry about the infrastructure, server management details, admin activities. So this is what they wanted to do it. So for that one, they have asked us, the client come to you and he asked you to do some kind of a POC on this one, and you are going to work on this area now. Okay, he wanted to replace this entire server with the MySQL database installed on top of a virtual machine, to replace it with the Cloud SQL MySQL instance, which is hosted on the cloud, and migrate. First, we need to migrate all the databases tables to the to MySQL instance. Then we have to switch it. Then we have to switch it. First, we have to migrate everything. Okay, we have to migrate everything from here to here. Then we have to remove this entire system. Okay, we have to remove this entire system, and we have to connect it to this, connect it directly like this, so that application gets the data. Application sends the data to this particular instance from now on. All the tables gets the data from this application. So this is what we wanted to do now. Okay, so for that one, the very first step is data migration. The very first step is for us is data migration. Yeah, it's fine. The very first step is data migration. So what is the data migration? We need to migrate the entire data from. Hello, is my voice breaking, guys? Okay. Okay, is it any good now? Yeah. Okay. So what we are going to do is that we are going to migrate this entire data from this particular MySQL virtual machine to the Cloud SQL MySQL instance. For that one, this is what we are going to do: data migration. Okay, so usually as a POC, first I want to make sure that everything one will be done. After that, I will ensure the process will be completed. So as a POC, first I am going to do it manually. Okay, as a POC, I will be doing it manually, and after that, if everything goes good, I am going to do it automatically. Automate this process. Automate. Because once if it is unable to do it in the manual, we can't make it automated. So first I'm going to do it manually, and I'm going to complete the POC saying that client, I can able to do this one. If you given time, I can automate this process so that whatever the changes are there, and all the things will be able to done. So that is what we are going to do today. So first we're going to be focusing on this particular aspect. If this is completed, I'm going to automate the process. Okay. Are you guys with me now? I'm not sure why it's breaking. I think all of the people are not saying. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll be go back and come back for you guys. Okay. Hope you guys can hear me now, right? Okay. Now we are going to focus on this manual migration. Then we're going to be automating the migration. Okay. So for that one, I'm going to first go to, I'm going to close all of these things. I don't need it. So we have here instance that is readily available. And for making it the smoother process, I don't want it to, I wanted to delete these tables, guys. Sorry. These tables, product and users. Okay, it is a confusion, right? So I'm going to delete this entire database. Okay, that means in my MySQL it is empty. In my destination it is empty. Okay, so now what is my source? This is my source. In my source I have plenty of the things, and in my destination I do not have anything. Okay, so I'm going to first go to my source. I'm going to do it manually, right? I'm going to do it manually, right? So what I will do, I'm going to come to the source. I'm going to click on this database. I'm going to click on this server. Okay. I will go to my source MySQL. I will click on this server and click on this data export. I will click on what, sir? I will click on data export. Once you click on data export, it's going to be asking you to select the each and every parameter. What you wanted to export. Sir, I wanted to export this entire database. Inside the entire database, I have these many tables. Sir, I wanted to export all of these things. Okay, I wanted to export all of these things. Sir, if you wanted to export only one or two, so usually this is a POC, right? We don't wanted to export all of these things. Okay, but I have only five tables, right? I'm gonna go with it. Okay, usually in the company, we're going to be selecting 3 or 4 databases and we will be doing it, POC. And now, once I have selected the database and I have selected all the tables, so I have selected all the tables, and we have an option here that is dump structure and data. So that means the table structure as well as data, both it will be dumping. Or you dump only the data, or you dump only the structure. For now, we wanted to have both the schema as well as data, right? So for that one, I am selecting both. Okay, I'm selecting both. And if you have stored procedures, functions, triggers, events, whatever the things you have, you can select all of those things, guys. In my database, I do not have any stored procedures. Okay, so I'm not selecting it. And where do you want it to dump it? So I'm going to select a proper location. I'm going to click on desktop only. Desktop only. Okay, and now the desktop only it is going to be dumping it. Okay, so I have selected the database, I have selected all the tables, I have selected the criteria, and I have selected the location where I wanted to dump it. Okay, once you have selected everything, you are able to see this option, right? Start export, click on it. Export is something you can see here. Even though we have a very large tables also, we are not going to exporting the entire data. We will be exporting only few small tables for the POC purpose. Okay, we select usually in the company 1 or 2 tables, small tables only we will be loading it. We don't actually focus on the large tables. The tables which are like 5 MB, 10 MB only, we are going to export it in the POC. Okay, and now export is completed. That means if I go to my local desktop, I am able to see this one. Okay, dump 2023. Just now I have given a dump 2023 folder. If you go inside it, you have here, see, all the customers, employees, orders, products, sample table. So all of these things are there. Okay. Now what we have to do, sir? Okay, now what we have to do, sir? In the manual process, what I have done, let me try to tell you step by step. In the manual process, first thing I have my MySQL. So this is my MySQL source. From my MySQL source, I have done the export and stored all of those on my local machine. Exported. And once done the export, what is there? All the dump file I have on my desktop. Dump files I have exported to my local machine. And from my local machine, I am going to load it to the cloud storage. So I need, because we are going to send it to where, sir? We are going to send it to the Cloud SQL. We can't directly send it to the Cloud SQL because we need some layer to be staging for the staging purpose. So all of things I am sending it to the cloud storage. I have selected the cloud storage and we're going to be upload it to the cloud storage. After uploading is done, I will select my MySQL instance. This is MySQL instance. Cloud SQL. I'm going to import it here. I'm going to import it here. So this is manual process, entirely manual process. Okay. Now what I have done, sir? So we have MySQL source, we have exported, and we are at here now. Now we have to upload it to the cloud storage bucket. So I'm going to select one of the bucket. I will select one of the bucket. So I'm going to select this landing bucket only. Okay. And after that, I'm going to just create one folder here so that it becomes easy. Okay. MySQL dump. MySQL dump is one of the folder I'm creating. You see here, I can click on this create folder. I can able to create here. And to this one, we are inside this buckets, landing bucket, MySQL dump folder. I am going to load all of those files. Click on upload and go to the desktop. Somewhere you will be see dump and select all of these files, open. Okay, so it is upload started. All the 5 files are uploaded. Okay, so what I have done, sir? I have selected all the upload files. I have selected a proper bucket, uploaded all the files to the cloud storage. This is also done. So 1, 2, 3. 3 steps are done. Now final step is importing it to the cloud SQL. So importing it to the cloud SQL, I will go to the cloud SQL. I'm inside the cloud SQL. So as I was telling you yesterday also, when you look at all of these options, you see an import option. You click on import. Okay. When you look at our files, All these are what files, sir? You see, all these are SQL files. All these are SQL files. If you wanted to open it, also you can open it, guys. Open it in Visual Studio. You can also open it. So this is how the code looks like. You see here, draft if exists, creatable, create statement is there. Inserting the data, insert a data statement is also there. Okay, so that's how you have the table and data. Creating table, inserting the data. Seems like it does not have a DB source DB. Okay, to create a source DB, guys. So if not create a source database, I'm going to create a database. Okay, so for that, I will go to my, this is my source. I will go to my destination. I will create one database. Create database, that is best DB, target DB, target DB. Okay, the database name I am creating one of the database. I'm creating a database target DB. I'm gonna run it. In my destination, I'm doing it, guys, because the database will not be created. We have to select the database. Okay, now I have selected a target database. All the tables I wanted it to be come under this destination, this target. So now when I click on import, this is how the page looks like. You see here, import the data from the cloud storage. Now select the source file. Where is your file? So click on this browse. You have that file inside this date landing. You have your file inside this dump file, and you can select any of this table. I have selected source DB customers. Okay, customers.sql. Okay, select it. So you have selected a SQL file, and you see here only file format is SQL only, and you can also select the CSV files also. For now, I am selecting SQL files only. And the destination where it this file, this particular table has to be created where, sir? Under some database, right? The database is target DB. Okay, click on import. Click on import. Okay, it is imported. That means if I refresh here, I have a target DB. Inside that, I should have a one more table also. See, customers table. Like how you have a customers table here, like how you have a customer tables here. Select the data. You have like 10 records. Here also, if you try to do it, here also you have like some records. So we migrated successfully manually. Okay, we manually migrated successfully. So one of the table I have migrated successfully from the local MySQL workbench, local MySQL to on-premises to cloud successfully. Manually we have done it. So all data variables. Okay, so this we can able to do it manually. Any questions, anyone? No, we can't do all the tables in one shot. In manual process, you don't do it in all the tables in one shot. You do it one by one. No, I did not get you. Sorry. No, that's what I was telling. Yeah, it's see, Cloud SQL is just a service. It is built on top of the MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server. Okay, so it is built for those people who are habituated to use MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server. Right. So if I have to build a service to attract those people who are habituated to use it, but they are unable to manage their infrastructure. So for those people only, this MySQL is created. Okay, this particular Cloud SQL is created. Okay, so if I create an interface here, they don't come and work here because they are not liking our infrastructure. They are from last 15-20 years we've been using the MySQL. Okay, if I create a editor here, and they won't come and work here because they want a MySQL only. They want a SQL Server only. They want a PostgreSQL only. Okay, if I provide them the interface here also, they won't come and work here because they all the developers are already habituated to use the interface of MySQL or a PostgreSQL or a SQL Server. Okay, so that's the reason it is. Otherwise, if you need a very powerful tool, okay, if you need some powerful tools, or I want the one which will be doing the same activity, I want the editor to be available, you go to the spanner. You go to the spanner, and spanner is your service, and which will be exactly similar to the Cloud SQL, and but it is not built on top of any other MySQL or SQL or PostgreSQL. It provides you, it's an entirely Google product itself. Okay, but no one is using. Google is created for it. So I'm going to show you how the spanner looks like. See here, spanner one, and click on create. Select some instance created. Okay, this is also one of the service that the Google is providing you, and you have everything here. So I wanted to create database. I create a database named SampleDB. Okay, standard SQL. Click on create. So Spanner is one of the service. Sir, I don't wanted to use go to any other workbench or something. I wanted to manage everything in my Google Cloud itself. You go to the Spanner. Spanner is one of the same similar to the Cloud SQL, which is also operational database only, and it provides you very good interface. But no one will be using now. It's not that famous. No, some people does not know at all. Spanner is big expensive. It's because it's a global resource. Okay, it's a global resource because you are going to manage all the resources can be available over the world. It's not a regional resource. Cloud SQL is a regional resource. Yeah. Okay, so if you wanted to create table, right? So when you can click on create table, you can provide the schema here. Every interface is providing you everything. So later I wanted to run some queries also, like select star, all of those things also. If you wanted to do it somewhere, there will be. Okay, so I think I need to create a table to run some queries. So randomly, let us just create. So you can actually look at it. It's a one of the service, and an editor opens here. I just wanted to show you that only. So like some sample, some column name can be ID integer into 64, and that's it. I don't wanted to put anything here. Create table, table name. Is something wrong? Okay, okay. Into 64 is fine. It is a standard SQL. So you have a table also here. See, you created one of the operation, you created table. When you go to spanner, you have a sample DB. Inside the sample DB, you have a table. Okay. There is a editor. I forgot where is that editor. Operations no. Spanner Studio. Yes, here it is. Spanner Studio. Okay, they have updated it. Spanner Studio. So you have somewhere you will be able to see this is your table, right? So you can see here you have a one column and you have a one primary key. So this is how the interface now. So if I wanted to see select star from, I can able to run my queries here only. I need not to go to anything. Okay, so this is how the spanner interface looks like, which is exactly similar to the BigQuery. So tomorrow you are going to still look at the BigQuery, right? I did not have any records, okay, but I'm just showing you how the interface looks like. Okay, so this is how you need not to go to any other platform to work with the spanner, because spanner is entirely a Google product, which is very, very, very powerful. And most of the people are not habituated to use it, because this is how it is, right? So if I am habituated to use it and if something is working all the time, people were started using that only repeatedly. So that's the reason MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL become very famous. So that is the reason Cloud SQL become very famous now. Okay, even though it does not have interface or anything, so people will be using downloading the MySQL client or SQL Server Studio, and they will be working there. Okay, yeah. Now back to our session. Yes, sorry, sorry. Spanner, you can move it, of course, you can move it. Okay, yes. See, it's this is how it works. So when you are moving one uh, 1 minute, let me check it actually. Do I have, because we need one client to take care of that. So if that client is readily available, it will be able to do it. So if, for example, uh, usually Oracle to the spanner, you don't actually get a direct data migration service to work with it. So if you have to work it, you have to manually do it only. So manually doing it means you can't export all the tables at a time, first thing. Or if you wanted to export all the tables and take care of the schema, so in such scenarios, you have to have a one ETL tool taking care of it. Okay, you have to manage the entire ETL tool, a third party ETL tool or something, and you have to connect it that to the Oracle database. And extracting is fine, but you have to transform it in such a way that each table, the way that the Oracle stores the data is different, the way that the spanner stores the data is different. So what you have to do is that you have to provide a transformation step in such a way that the schema changes, the data, how it insertion changes, all of those things you have to mention in the transformation step, and then you load it to the spanner. Okay, so that's all. It's not that easy, but there is a plenty of things to be taken care. But we have to go with a one third party ETL tool for taking care of it. Yeah. In manual process, uh, can we? Sorry. See, a manual process, manual is something like that directly. The name itself, it is suggesting you that it is manual process. So for the manual process, you are doing a manual steps, so step by step. Okay, you can't directly export it to the, you can directly import it to the Cloud SQL without storing it, because you can see here, if this particular option, when you click on import, if you see any other options like other than the cloud storage, of course you can able to do it. But you see here, but the Cloud SQL does not accepting any source other than the cloud storage, right? You can't select any other source here. Only the source is cloud storage. Okay, if you have any other sources mentioned here, in such scenarios, you can go that. Or even though, sir, I don't wanted to use the interface, sir, I wanted to automate it. Okay, so if you wanted to automate it, you can also do one thing. That is, what you can do, one thing is that you can activate the Cloud Shell and do it. Okay, you can actually activate the Cloud Shell and do it if you don't wanted to use the import. So for example, let us try to do one more table, gcloud SQL import. So this is a command, gcloud SQL import. The database name, we are going to, the file name is SQL. The instance name is MySQLDB. And where is your file? My file is in cloud storage. I'm going to get the path of the cloud storage. Okay, so I'm going to select the employees table now. Get the path. This is my path. Come here, paste it, enter. See, do you want it to? Yes. Importing data into the Cloud SQL instance. So you can actually use the command line tool as well to import it. Error. Okay, no database selected. Sorry guys, I have to select the database also. So we have to, I think the same command, hyphen database is equal to target DB. Okay, seems like it is importing is done. So if you now go and check in your workbench, you will be able to see one more table as well. So from the Cloud SQL shell also, from the Cloud shell also, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so you see here employee table came into the picture. Instead of customers, if I put employees, okay, you have the data here. Okay, so this is how importing is done. Sir, I have a file which is a SQL. So I can do one thing. Sir, I wanted to export it. During the exporting from the Alexa virtual machine, so there is one more option also. Like if you want to export it as a single file also you can do it actually. If you export it as a single file, what will happen is that while you are dumping it, it becomes very easy. Export process, no object selection. Somewhere it will be instead of okay, we have to create schema for creating a database. Also, we have to mention this, enable this option. I need to have. If I click on it, where will be? Okay, let me click on it. Data export. Okay, let's try to finish this one. Yeah, wait a minute. SQL, so that's the reason I just wanted to check it. Please wait. Okay, it's completed. Let it be. And I'll go to the object process. Yeah. Where was that? Create a dump. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Correct, correct. Yes. So I can create a single transaction. So I can start exporting it. File already existed, overwrite it. Okay, no. I'm gonna give some name. Dump 2024. Start export. Where I'm dumping it, I forgot. Update logo. No, it was dumping it in documents. Dumps. Okay, okay, it's done. So 1 minute. Let me see documents. Dumps 2024. Now what it has done is that if you can see here, what it has done is that. So this was earlier one. I will delete it. So this is dump 2024 was created. Okay, you can use this particular dump file. Okay, you can use this particular dump file. You see here when I open it, the same thing, but all of those statements which we have separately, right, all of those statements are in single dump file. What you can do is that now I will go to my cloud storage. I will go to my cloud storage, and I will load that particular file. Okay, I have loaded that particular file, and once you have loaded it, you can go to either cloud shell, either you can go to the cloud shell. So if you go to the cloud shell, simple G cloud SQL import. The file format is SQL. The instance database is MySQL DB. Okay. Oh, there is something, right? Okay, let's not worry about. Let's see if it's working or not. Let's see. Copy. What it will do, you already remember, right? If it is the table is there, it will drop it. Okay, we have seen it, right? So if the table is already available, it will drop it. Yeah, it will be creating. Yes. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Someone was asking. Yes, yes, of course, of course. Done. That means if I go to my virtual machine, earlier I have only two tables, right? If I refresh it, I have all the tables. See here, I have all the tables here. Customers, employees, orders, products, everything. And here, how many I have? Here, I'm having the same thing. Okay, so that is how you can import all the things, but no one will be importing all the things. Okay, it's a POC purpose. We are just dumping it. Now I have only the sample data like 10 records and 5 tables. So that's the reason I have done it. So you guys wanted to see, that's the reason I have dumped all the things at a time. But usually we don't do that. So to automate the process, maybe tomorrow I will tell you how we are going to automate this process, because everything is manual. It is taking a lot of time. If it is a very huge data, it takes hours, days also. We don't want it to do it. I want some service to take care of it. So that I will show it to you on Monday. Okay. Now tell me if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, we have successfully migrated the data from manually from MySQL to all the way from MySQL to the Cloud SQL. All tables we have migrated. Okay, yeah. We don't go by manual. Correct. If you understand the efforts that we are putting in the manual, then only you appreciate the technology of the my automation, right? So that's what. Correct. Correct. So now Monday we will see, and we don't need to spend this many hours. And someone was talking about that thing also. So in automation we have two things. One is continuous. One more is what we call it, the snapshot or batch process. See, continuous means your source as well as destination will be continuously connected. That means whatever the change that is happening at source, it will be reflected destination. Okay. Until and unless if you break the connection, all the time it will be in continuous connection. So whatever change happening at source will be reflected in the destination. In a batch is nothing but at that point of time, whatever the data that is there in the source, it will be moved to the destination. Okay, so you can either go for the continuous process, you can go for the batch migration process. Okay, we will see that in Monday how this works, and it's very simple again. We will be seeing again on Monday. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? And I in between I told you about the cloud spanner as well. So I want you guys to look at that and how it actually works and try to look at it. And for those people who are little bit I mean sir, I do not know how to the basics of the cloud SQL or Python also. So I have mentioned the basics. Try to focus on these things over the weekend. So you have like 2 days, right? So try to focus these things on over the weekend, so that if you wanted to build your career as a data engineer, it becomes very important for you. Those already know the SQL, focus on the Python. Those already know the both of those things, try to work on, take some data and try to work on basic SQL the scripts, try to prepare those things. Okay, so take some sample questions and try to work on that. Okay, these are the two things that you can do over the weekend. Yeah. Okay, guys. This is it for today. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye.